Welcome to Precision Pilates feet exercises. We think it is very important, because it is, to do your foot exercises every day. Now, maybe you miss a couple here and there, but if you really did them every day, I promise you, you will experience true change in your body. So, these exercises are appropriate for anybody, everybody, at every stage of life. So feel free to share this with your friends and family. Share it with people you don't know. Just share it, but most importantly, you do it. So excited for the change you're going to see. Okay, so we're going to start with tennis ball. I want you to place your metatarsal ridge over the bar. That's the ridge where your toes connect into your foot. Now, I'll show you from the side. We're going to think about your foot like a wet noodle just draping over the ball. And we're going to roll the ball under the foot, and you'll just step forward. You're going to put as much pressure on the ball as you can handle. It's not a competition. We don't need to bruise our feet. And the ball spits out the back. I like to be sure to spit the ball out the back so that you get all that tightness and everything just away from you. Now, arch of the foot. Now that's the most tender spot of your foot that I want you to just think, I don't want to be there. That's the right spot. Now, we're going to think just draping over the ball like that wet noodle. Now I keep my knees a little bent so I can really keep the weight even, as opposed to I like to lock my knees. So I don't want that. So we're going to roll the ball. The toes can help you an inch forward. And then we just spit out the back. I'm an aggressive spitter. And I have a magic ball return. Now, the third pass, okay? First time was metatarsal ridge through the heel. Second time was arch of the foot through the heel. Now we're going to do the third pass, and that's going to be arch of the foot to the metatarsal ridge. So we're just draping over, wet noodle. This time I want you to also think laterally wrapping the ball like a gift. And your paper is your foot, okay? We're going to just slide the foot back. And we're going to pause at the metatarsal ridge. Now right there, we're just going to think about the foot opening up. We just want our knuckles on our feet to pop up like the knuckles on our fist. That's what Lolitas look like. Now, then you've got a choice. This is really one of your only choices. You can either let the ball spit out the front of your foot, or you can simply take your foot off the ball. I want you to make sure that you always roll 2 times to the back of the heel, to the 1 time to the front of the heel. That's the magic ratio for preventing and correcting plantar fasciitis. So that's where you're always going to start. And of course you do both feet. Foot number 2, tennis ball, starting with the metatarsal ridge over the ball. Foot's just relaxing over the ball. And we roll the ball. No need to rush. And when the toes can, they just help it, and it spits out the back. All that energy, just get it away from you. We don't need all that tension in our foot. True change in the body starts with true change in the feet. So, wrapping like a wet noodle over the ball. Just feel the weight of your foot and your body go into the ball and relax the foot. All those pressure points. Think of reflexology. Think of acupuncture. There's a spot in the sole of our feet corresponding with all of our internal organs and our spine. So we need to make sure that our foot isn't bound up. Think of how that would be all bound up in your body. Ugh, nobody wants that. Now, arch of the foot. Now this is your third pass, the first only one to the front of the foot. So remember, here is where we're going front to back, but we're also going laterally wrapping. And we're just going to roll the ball forward. Again, if you're looking at Lolita's foot article, she lets the ball spit out the front of the foot. But her knuckles do look like this on her foot. So she gets to spit the ball out. When your knuckles look like this, go ahead and spit it out. Until they look like this, let's give it a little extra time. And then you can spit it out like we did on the first foot, or you can simply pick it up and place it down, feeling how much different our feet feel now. So now we're going to sit down and do the rest of our foot exercises that we want you to do every day. Okay, so now we're on the floor and we're going to do ankle manipulations. I like to start with my right foot, just because I like to say right first, I guess. We're going to take your fingers and lace them between your toes. Okay? It's like you're holding hands with your feet. Now, we always want to be aware we don't want to be all, saggy body and just working on our feet. Nothing else is Pilates, right? We're always thinking of Pilates mindfulness. And now I make sure my ankle's beyond my leg so I can go front, back, front, back, front, and back, neutral. Now, the inside of my leg is the midline of the body. I'm going to go in, out, third and final, done. We're going to circle in and around. Circle 2, feels so good, 3, and reverse. 2, 3, and fingers out. Fingers back in, because lacing's often the hardest part, so we're not just going to leave it in there for 2 sets of circles. And front, back, last one, and center, side, side. Now I'm making sure that I kind of just stabilize the ankle so it's not all, and center. Circle in and around. Really get your full range of motion. 3, reverse. 2, 3, and out. Now we're going to tuck the left leg under. We're going to have a nice sit-up tall. I want you to think about all of your weight, not all, but most of your weight is now shifted into that left side. We've got the heel of the right foot in line with the right ischium, and the ankle and knee are in line or the ankle's in front of the knee, being sure not to pull the ankle behind the knee. That's going to put more pressure that we don't need on our knee joint. So we're just, and it's not like a competition. How far can I bend? How can I do anything else? I want your mindfulness away from your body and onto your feet. So make sure it is the most comfortable you can be. Now, center of your knee is tracking your second toe. Just like in sitting, standing, everything alignment. We're going to still keep a mindfulness of our alignment here. Okay, now let's begin the rest of the exercises. Okay, so now I want you to make sure, again, ankle knee alignment, your weight is on the first, fifth center of your heel. Now, even though we're not standing on this foot, I still want you to think 60% of my foot is in front of my malleoles, or my ankle bone, and I want 60% of your weight in front of your ankle bone. From there, we're going to start with piano scales. So we're going to lift up toe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Notice the metatarsal ridge is still on the floor. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you can just stretch them as they come up. 4, 5. Guide them down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, let's leave 1 and 5 down and pick up the middle 3. And lower. And lift. And lower. It's like magic. and down. Now, we're going to take and we're going to do an arch contraction, okay? So now, that's going to go from the metatarsal ridge and from the heel. So it's just right in here, okay? We're going to think about this staying weighted, and just the foot domes up. Now what I didn't do was I didn't scrunch my toes. I didn't press down. I just picked up the arch to strengthen that arch. And you can see it's all the way through, if you can see my little finger there. And down. Now don't think that you have to be able to do that, but eventually you will. And the arch of the foot domes up. And down. And domes up. And down. And domes up. And down. All right, now we're going to go to the other side, but we have to go all the way back to ankle manipulation. So, just straightening the right leg, bending the left leg, fingers go between the toes as far as you can. Again, it's as far as you can. You don't need to feel like you need to get your fingers all the way through if it doesn't work for you. Remember, this is my job, okay? And front, back, front, back, front, back, center. Side, 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 side. Third set and center. Now we circle in and around. We always go in to the midline first because it's kinder to the joint. Then we go out and around. 2, that goes for every joint on the body. 3, and neutral. Fingers out. Do it again. Fingers in and front, back, third time's the charm, center, and side, 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 center. Circle in and around, just lubing the joint. Feel the synovial fluid, and out, and 2, and 3, neutral ankle, out. And now we've got our weight shifted into the opposite ischium. Our heel is in line with our ischium, and our weight is 60% in front of our ankle bone. Weight's on the first fifth, center of the heel. And we begin with piano scales. So we're going to lift up the first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Take down the fifth. I'm going to stretch a little. Fourth, third, second, first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more time and up and down. Now, 1 and 5 stay down, and the middle 3 pick up and down. So let's pick them up and stretch them up and down. And lift and lower. And lift and lower. And lift and lower. Now, arch contractions. So, from the metatarsal ridge to the heel, or the heel to the metatarsal ridge, whatever direction you like to think. And it's like there's a string right under the center of the arch, and we pull that string up to lift the arch. And down. And pull the string up. Think of that imagery. And down. It's effortless. And down. What I think is funny is people are born with flat feet all the time, and they think it's just okay. What they say is, I was born with flat feet. And then they go through life and their feet get flatter and flatter and flatter. And we, like we've already talked about, our foot is where we start. We've got to put our feet first to have our body have change. So, what I like to say is, people are born with flat butts all the time, and nobody accepts that. So, let's have true change in our feet. I'm not saying you have to ignore your booty, but let's put our feet first, okay? And now, let's straighten both legs and go to plantar flexion, dorsiflexion. Sitting tall, chest and back are smiling, shoulder blades draw down, and let's not forget our ribs. Okay? Now, we're going to go forward long toes. Now, a Pilates pointed foot is a pointed foot from the ankle, not pointed toes. If we point our toes, feel how we feel that tension in the metatarsal ridge that we've worked just so hard to take away. And dorsiflexion. Now in dorsiflexion, I just want you to take it so your feet are up against a wall, not pulling back too far with your toes or so far you take it in your knees and your heels lift up. They stay anchored. Plantar flexion forward, sitting tall with a kiss. Dorsiflexion back. Two sections of the foot. This is section 1. And this is section 2. Now I'm going to let my heels part just a little for 4 sections of the foot. Now we're going to go arch of the foot is section 1. Long toes is section 2. Bring your toes back for section 3. And then feet up against the wall for 4. So we go, put your high heels on. And long toes, kick them off. High heels back on. And stand on flat feet. Now, I want you to always think through all of these that each leg has its own lane. The ankles and feet are going to stay in their own lane. We go arch and toes. Toes back. Flat feet. And arch. So not staying in their own lane would be something like this. Or this. That rarely happens. It's mostly this. They like to come together. Very codependent. And long toes. Toes come back and flat feet. Dun, 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 dun. We've saved the best for last. Leg and ankle circles. So we're going to open your legs to a small V. I truly mean a small V. Sometimes people go, oh yeah, that's my small V, because they want to show you that they don't think this is a big deal. We just want a sensible slice of pie. Okay? Now, we're going to rotate in from the hip socket, circle down all the way out from the hip socket and up and in, down, out, up. We feel the rotation at the head of the femur in the socket and reverse, down, all the way in, up to the top, out, through, all the way in and up to the top. Last one, sweep the floor, in and up to the top. And you're done. See, that was easy. Now, let's just keep doing it every day for true change in our feet.